All right. Well, I have a story to share. I've already shared this with you, Shannon. That's how the topic came up.
Yeah.
That the other night, my wife and daughter were going to go pick up Chipotle. I guess I had a gig. It finished at like 9 o'clock or something. It was a Saturday night early. And they knew that Chipotle was open till 10. And they asked me because they came to watch the gig, and they asked me, hey, do you want me to get you anything? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Get me whatever, whatever I normally get. I don't know. They know, which is fine. And then while I was packing up right before I left, I get a text from them saying, oh, too bad. Chipotle closed early. We'll see you at home. And it was very interesting to me because 2 years ago, if Chipotle had just decided today we're closing early, that would have certainly shattered or at least shaken my confidence in them. Right?
Yeah.
Sure. Right? But when my wife texted me, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, well, it's, there's labor shortage and it's how things are.
We've been softened up. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been softened up. Yeah. And it was really interesting, just to notice my reaction, my non-reaction to that. It was like, oh, okay, no big deal. We got food at home. I can make nachos or, whatever. I don't care. It's fine. I love having nachos after a gig, by the way, but that's a whole different story. And so, as I was driving home, I thought, well, this is really interesting. Like, where are we with this? And do we go back from this, and how far back will we recover? And I'm not convinced that we're going to recover too much. I think we're going to continue, at least for a while, to be in this scenario of just accepting that, yeah, especially the service industry is short-staffed, and it's just how it's going to be. I don't think we recover from this.
Your thesis is that from now on, we're going to be more. It's going to be more acceptable.
Yes,
and we're not going to react and customers aren't going to react in a negative manner when they go to buy something, order something, get a service, and there's basically a note that says, "Hey, we've
left for the
home."
day." Yeah, I really think so. I think we've learned patience. I know you're laughing at me because I don't think you agree.
No, I don't. I don't, because I think that now. I definitely think if we're in the middle of something, we've learned to adapt as a society that, okay, hey, we're going through a pandemic, a hurricane / whatever, that if there is some extraneous event, I do agree with you because we're used to it, right?
Sure.
But
when I think even once COVID becomes endemic, and I'm going to predict that by April 1st, we will be at a point where that has been accepted by the public. And I'm happy to have that conversation. But let's put a pin in that for now. I think it's a good conversation to have. But I think whenever that time frame comes, and I could be wrong, but whenever that comes, I don't think this changes. I think we have, and the reason is, we have learned to be more accommodating of service industry professionals, because
I would agree with that.
We are beholden to them, right? Like, we know what it's like not to have anyone or not to have nearly enough people working in the service industry. And I think a large portion of the public at varying degrees has just taken that group of workers for granted, and that's gone. I don't think we take those people for granted anymore as much as we did. I'm sure some people do, and in various ways. But I think in general, we are far more in tune or aware. I don't even want to say in tune. We're far more aware of what that sector of workers goes through and how important they are. And I think they maintain the leverage here. They currently have the leverage. There's no question about that. But I think they maintain it.
Maybe, but I think that it's also an opportunity for other companies to figure out how not to encounter those kinds of things.
Sure.
And because I think that people have short memories. Now, obviously, the catastrophe of COVID on a global scale is going to take, a long time for people to kind of forget about how the way things are, but they will forget how things are.
How long do you think that's going to take? I mean, are you talking months, years, a decade?
No, not decades. I would say years.
Yeah.
Within a couple of years of COVID being over, I believe we will be back to the same thing. Now,
same place we were.
I don't believe those businesses are ever going to be the same. I do agree that the business model has to adapt. And I believe that a lot of those, I have it in my notes here. I think we're in this era, the end of cheap is how I phrased it.
I like
it's
that.
The end of cheap.
Yes.
And it's the end of subsidized things. Like, I mean, have you booked an Uber lately or done DoorDash lately and seen the difference in pricing, at least in California?
Oh, no. We have it here. There's a wings place down the street from us. And this is, it fits into this whole mindset here that we've been ordering from with DoorDash, throughout the pandemic. And then I went to order from them, I don't know, a couple of months ago, and it was like, why am I paying $90? Like, what's going on here?
Exactly.
And I looked at their website, and their website pricing was what I expected to pay. Yeah. DoorDash pricing was far more. And so it was like, the restaurant has chosen not to eat DoorDash's fees.
Correct.
And I think that's fine.
Changing. It is. It's better for the rest, obviously.
It's better to just be transparent about it. What I don't like is that DoorDash charges me a fee and also charges the restaurant. It reminds me of the magazine industry. It's like, well, you want me to subscribe, and then you're also getting advertising. Like, can we be a little more transparent about what that looks like to me, right? Yeah. How does that fit? And I think it's good in a.
It is. I think it is. I mean, we're going to pay for it, but
but as a business owner,
those decisions.
I like that the public is forced to be more self-aware.